Hi everybody, I'm Blayne Tyler, come to you again from Northeastern Ontario. Okay, clear a couple things up first. First of all, I'm still going to be posting on YouTube. They'll just be kind of different videos. My more documentary evidence videos, which don't get a lot of hits on YouTube anyway, they're going to be over on Patreon. So if you like that stuff, become a subscriber or a Patreon. So Bigfoot Mafia. Well, it's not a mafia. It's kind of like big groups trying to hog all the internet traffic. Got talking to a friend of mine. I was trying to explain it to him. At least my understanding of it. Anyway, I don't get deep into it, so they might be even worse than what I think. But anyway, the big groups are kind of like like the pods from War of the Worlds, And the best way to... Okay, hold on. I know how to show you. Okay, so here's a real fun kind of behind-the-scenes look at the Bigfoot groups and I guess how it works, sort of. Other people might have a better explanation, but let's just pretend that the round table is the internet, the World Wide Web. Okay, so these guys here in the middle, they're independent on the internet, and thanks to YouTube, they can show their evidence without having to go through these guys or these guys, which is a kind of a pod, a Bigfoot group formed by researchers and investigators. They'll have their own breakdown guys or podcasters which either link with them or alliances with them from the group, and basically they just pretty much show their own stuff and talk about whatever's going on in the bigger area of the internet. The big heat plate thing there in the middle, it's like a rebroadcast channel. It shows you Bigfoot videos, tells you Bigfoot stories, whatever. That group has allegiances or even deals with the Bigfoot group over here. And over here, a little bit smaller group. The Bigfoot group, podcaster, evidence breakdown guy, whatever. So basically they work together, and in the middle is their little own special forum, Bigfooting and stuff like that. So they're all trying to go up. And what's up here? Well, that plate there, that's a Bigfoot conference. And the tomatoes, which are like superstars, that would be like maybe Bob Gimlin and whatever doctors that are invited to the conference, the headliners. Superstars. Okay, so what happens is this state or province, this state, has their own dudes that they've promoted, that they're, the top 5 or whatever. They have their own Bigfoot group, or Bigfoot conference. So what they do is they send their dudes to the conference. They pay for these guys to come in and headline it, but it's mostly 90% their own guys. And the podcaster guy promotes it, the Bigfoot group promotes it, and all the people in here on internet, which half of them are trolls attacking the independents and the other group, they promote it and talk about it because they want to be successful, right? They want to hang out with the stars. And the channel that rebroadcasts footage, she or he promotes it too. Same with these guys. These guys are hoping to become popular enough to have their own Bigfoot conference, right? So usually if these guys are having it, they're not going to invite the other guys over, right? They're going to have their own headliners come in, and they get paid to show up and talk, at the end. But here's where it comes unfair. This Bigfoot researcher right here has got better evidence than these guys. He's actually in this area. So what happens is this rebroadcast channel has a deal with these guys not to show that person's evidence, even if it's better than theirs. Because then it violates their group. Then this group won't get all their stories and they won't share internet traffic, and the deal's over, right? Same as this, you know, these guys won't talk about that independent who's from their area, maybe 5 miles down the road, got a video of one, but they won't talk about them except to attack them with their troll names and stuff in the middle. Maybe some people are on board that's real evidence because it's an open forum. So that's the part what comes unfair. Now, sometimes you get like an independent who gets really good stuff, consistency. Let's just say Timber Giant, because he's not really posting anymore. But remember he filmed Big Red a couple times? Really awesome stuff. So he actually made it up here. So he made it past these guys because of YouTube, which these guys hate because it allowed the independents to go around them. And they're acting like gatekeepers before. Well, that's not good enough evidence. Well, it's better than yours. So anyway, he made it there, and he should be at the conference, but he isn't because this group is the one organizing the conference, and they don't want this guy to come in and show up that guy, you know. So that's how it kind of works. Now, sometimes there's a conference where the conference has the best of everybody. So this guy will be there, this guy will be there, and these guys over here will send their representatives, and then it should be a really good show, right? But again, you never hear about the independents who are actually got more evidence or better than the groups, unless they're doing quite well on the internet and they've done some stuff to promote themselves. So I guess that's sort of how it works. There's other things that go on with the groups, but that's why it's so hard as an independent to make it past, because you're basically outnumbered like 100 to 1 to make it past the groups, to get these guys to show your video so you can become, I guess you need to be very popular to make it to the conference with the stars and shake hands and go have a VIP dinner. But the thing is, I remember, well, maybe I'll go shut down. I remember Paul Freeman, people talking about him. He was out in a parking lot. Out in a parking lot. He's one of these guys. Wasn't working with any of these guys. Should have been at the conference. Out in a parking lot. Showing his hand casts, footprints, and casts, pictures, had the footage. Out in a parking lot while this person and this person didn't have any footage, but they're really good at talking about Bigfoot. And that's where it becomes kind of, I guess, like the Bigfoot Mafia, where the big groups control who becomes a star, and they only promote themselves. That's why also sometimes you only hear, like this is a podcaster, you only hear about the guys from this group. You know, sometimes they'll have some rogue guy on, as long as his evidence isn't too threatening, or if they can get enough video hits, then they have to have them on. But you never hear about the guys who are in the middle or down here are just as good as their researchers, but you never hear about them. You only hear about the superstars if they make it past the gatekeepers, or these guys. They only have their own guys on, like these guys here. Most of the time they're back with this group, and they only have their own guys on all the time. And if you want to confirm that, you just see how there's like a cycle. Every couple of years, it's always the same people on the big rebroadcast. And sometimes this can become like a podcaster, a superstar podcaster. But you still never hear about these guys. You only hear about this guy who filmed one or seen one 30 years ago. He'll be on the show. Or this guy who's buddies with them. He'll be on the show every 6 months. But these guys are always on, the superstars. And it's really quite unfair, and I guess it's really controlling and elitism and whatever you want to say. But basically they're controlling the internet traffic, and they're trying to bury the competition, especially the independents that make them look bad. Because if these guys are charging money for you to come out on their expeditions, and these guys are going out on their own and saying, hey, look, I filmed a Bigfoot 3 times in a row in a month. And these guys, all they can get, and they're charging you $500 a weekend to hear a couple wood knocks, well, these guys make them look bad. So they naturally will attack and discredit these guys in the middle, the independents or the other group.
Right, so there's other things that go on too, like hobnobbing with the people that run the conferences or podcasters, or even they hobnob with someone really famous and they pull themselves up on stage for doing nothing really. And there's been a couple lawsuits, people suing other people for harassing them or slander. There's things like, I had evidence good enough to bring the top scientists in the field, but it wasn't good enough to post on the local provincial sites. Go figure that one out. So anyway, thanks for watching, and are we posting again soon?